So the TANGO study is a study that was designed to assess the efficacy and safety of Dovato, which is dolutegravir plus lamivudine, a 2-drug regimen, compared to a TAF-based 3 or 4-drug regimen. So this is what we call a switch study. The participants were already on the TAF-based regimen. By the time they entered the study, they had to have an undetectable viral load for at least 6 months, and they couldn't have hepatitis B, and they could not have any evidence of resistance to any of the study drugs. And if they gave consent, they were eligible to participate, then they were randomized to either stay on the TAF-based regimen or to switch to Dovato. So we already had the primary outcome results reported last year, and that was at week 48. And we were able to show non-inferior virologic efficacy for Dovato compared to continuation of the TAF-based regimen in this population. And importantly, there were 0 participants that actually had confirmed virologic withdrawal in this study in the Dovato arm, compared to 1 in the TAF-based arm. And because of that, we can also say that there were 0 participants that had any resistance development over the 48 weeks of the study. Yes, so those are the primary outcomes. And then moving on to what we're presenting at this conference, we're looking at metabolic health outcomes. So you'll be very aware that over the last year or so, there's been a lot of interest with regards to weight gain specifically. And weight gain is one component of metabolic health. So we looked at weight gain, but then we also broadened it to look at other metabolic health parameters. And for this analysis, in addition to weight gain, that included looking at changes in fasting glucose and HbA1c, which is a way of looking at long-term glucose control. We also looked at changes in lipids, so all of the different kinds of lipids that we usually look at. We also looked at changes in fasting insulin, and then fasting insulin, and then insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome was calculated based on the data that we had from the study. 2-drug regimens is a new paradigm. You know, it's the first, Dovato is the first regimen that has now got marketing authorization or approval for use in therapy-naive patients as well as in switch patients. And this study was specifically designed to look at TAF-based regimens, but of course Dovato does not have TAF, abacavir, or TDF, so it eliminates the need for that second NRTI. So there can be a number of potential advantages when you do that. For this study specifically, we looked at the potential advantages against the TAF-based regimen. First of all, you have to always prove that your virologic efficacy is going to be the same, of course. And we've proven that over 48 weeks in TANGO. In other studies, the Gemini studies, we've also proven it against the TDF-based regimen in naive patients. So that's first of all the thing that we have to be very aware of. And also when TAF is combined with an integrase inhibitor, there's definitely an additive effect of with regards to weight gain. And that's really what prompted us to think, you know, around kind of more metabolic health concepts with regards to removing TAF from the regimen and what the potential advantages could be. And that's why we did this analysis.